Well, it's taking its time. There we go. And we are live. So, hello everyone, and welcome to, I guess, it is another Sunday stream. It was just from the channel. Anyway, I know I'm blabbering. I had something in my head and I was like, I'm going to say that. No, I'm not. Anyway, today we are going to go over Notion.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I know you should have done it. I wasn't really thinking about it. I didn't plan it through. You think I plan things through? Last week we had a 30-second countdown, so I was ready. I could think things through. So what we're going to do is we are going to go through Demetri's space a little bit, and then we'll probably talk about the update. But before we go to John, we're going to talk to Demetri. Demetri, do you want to introduce yourself and tell everyone a bit about who you are, what you do, etc.?
Yeah, hello everyone. I've been on the show before, back when I was on Danny's channel exclusively, but I am a person who makes productivity and self-development videos on YouTube. The channel is my name. I've been making videos throughout most of this year, started around when the quarantine happened, the lockdown happened. I know we're going into round 2, so that's fun. But I make videos on self-development, minimalism, and a little bit about productivity apps as well, because I love Notion, and that is how Danny and I met. I reached out to him.
First question before I let John talk. How long have you been using Notion?
I eclipsed my annual usage of this, I think, in like September. I think I'm at 14 months.
Nice. So an experienced user. So John, I will now let you speak.
I have nothing to say yet. I'm just excited to look through Demetri's setup and seeing what he's got, because I haven't seen it, so I'm really excited. From what I saw a little preview, I was kind of like, "Ooh, this is cool. I like this. This is very different." So I'm looking forward to going through. So let's bring up his system and
let's go in. We need a sound effect for that.
Let's do this.
There we go. Clip that, and I'll bring it in. Tio, good to see you in the chat. A nerdy Notioneer, sorry. Use the right words.
So minimal. I love it.
So, Demetri, over to you.
So first of all, there's a lot of different inspirations that I've pulled from this. This looked a lot different last time when I was on Danny's stream about 2 months ago, I think. God, time's flying right now. It may have been 3 months ago. But so first of all, as you can see, it's all black and white. Every single cover is actually the exact same. I did have different covers, but every single cover is the exact same black thing. I didn't want it to just have the gray background and that was it. I feel like that would have just been like a little too boring. But I just saw the, sorry, I'm on the StreamYard thing and I saw the notification of the chat.
Yeah, no, I moved my mouse over and accidentally clicked it. But yeah, hi everyone.
Okay. Hi everyone. And for me, like, I have a lot of different buckets I like to put my space into. As you can see, there's like my scheduled tasks, my brand itself in regards to me trying to build my website and YouTube channel, goals and ideas, work when I have freelance stuff I'm doing, or when I'm trying to apply to jobs, or when I eventually get into work, that'll be a space where that lives when I get out of grad school, because I'm in grad school at the moment. But on the top, this is something I actually had to reach out to Danny about, because I made a navigation bar like on the top, and I really liked how Danny had that. I'm sure most of you know that he's been doing that for a while, and he does it with icons. But for me, I had icons set up, and then I saw a website, which this is where I have all the logos from. As you can see, I have everything in black and white. You copy this and you put it onto the logo for the different Notion pages. And that's how I got the black and white. So I wanted to have this bar be those icons, but that is not possible because you can't.
Yes.
What did you say?
Yes, it is. It's slightly different, but both me and Danny have done this now. We've both transitioned, so we have. Well, I have. I don't know about you. Haven't you?
Well, yeah, but if you're talking about the database solution, then you can, but you can't. So
you can, but you can't.
Well, yeah. So you can use icons, but it means you have to be in a database.
What's
a database fills up more space.
Minutely more space.
Yeah, but if you look at the amount of stuff on Demetri's top bar, you've got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you've got 10 in there. If you were to have 10 different database pages there with the icons, that's going to fill up much more space.
Not necessarily, because you could have the icons as the background and just have them as small icons as a
It's still going to
background.
fill up more space than one line of text.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to. But he gets his logos and his icons, which are very, very nice. Anyway, carry on.
Well, it is possible. Maybe I'll have to look into that. But yeah, I remember I reached out to Danny about like a month ago when I changed it, and I was like, I want to make it look like the logos. And at that time, I didn't think it was possible. But I like this little navigation bar. I never really have liked this. I don't know what it's just like cluttered. You know, you like look at that, you're like, oh my god, there's too much stuff.
Yeah, don't like the sidebar.
I don't like it at all. And here, I just remember the letters and what they mean to me. This is just his home. This is daily planner, calendar, school, training plan, calendar, framework, YouTube, podcast, social media, and this is a website. So I just have all my stuff right there on the navigation bar. And I guess the main thing, I'm trying to think of what I could tackle first. That would probably be the most beneficial.
So you've got a lot of pages in there.
I'm really intrigued. So do you have a master task database, a master project database? Do you have master databases that cover across different sections? So like, do you have projects for website? Do you have, so obviously I haven't seen this. This is coming up new to me. So this may be obvious stuff, but I'm intrigued to know whether you have the master databases as a common thing that happens,
for sure,
and across the different sections and spaces. And if not, what do you use instead?
Yeah, so I do that in the task/event calendar area. That is like my main spot where I have all my tasks and database stuff. The different sections you see here are more kind of where the ideas live, more kind of where the planning section is. And the task/event calendar is where like every task I do is. I use this plus a Google Calendar to like time block. And then I have a framework page, which I'll show in a bit, which is like, if I had an ideal week based on like my school schedule and whatever, I would like this set of tasks to be completed at that time. So it does not always happen, but it's a reminder each week to be like, okay, Wednesday is my recording day. I need to do all my A-roll recording, B-roll recording, audio recording, and then the next day is editing, and it's got that scheduled out. So I can go into this first.
So is this where you spend most of your time in your task and event calendar?
I would say this is the second or tied for first most with Daily Planner, because Daily Planner is the kind of the headquarters of actually everything. I don't actually see that main page that you saw earlier often.
So it's like a storage page.
It's mainly a storage page for all the pages. This is the second most popular area of what I see. Sorry, 1 second. I generally try my best to plan what I can in advance. Right now, I do 30-day challenges every month, and a lot of things are just like throughout the week. I make dinner certain times, whatever, that they consistently are there. So my 30-day challenge at the moment is just affirmations. So I don't have a time on that. I just like am reading affirmations to myself once a day for 30 days. So basically, in regards to like where my actual tasks are stored, this is kind of where they end up living when I know when I'm going to do them. I plan what I'm doing twice a week. This is not at the right time. Usually it's then. So that's like I plan twice a week. I get half of my week kind of figured out based on what's coming up in my life, and then I get the other half of my week figured out. But regarding things that I know are going to come up in the future, it's stored here.
Okay.
So I can drag it. This was a new thing. This used to be a completely different page. I used to have the task/event calendar as an entire database page, but I turned it into an inline calendar because I said, why am I dragging it from page to page? That's kind of annoying. Why can't I just do this? Because all of these have the exact same properties, right? So they have time, due date, location, task group, homework. Or it's not homework, sorry. Tags, like, what does this mean? And each of these subtables have tags as well. So for example, when I make anything in this school to-do list, it will pop up and the task group will be school. And then something else, which I'm not going to reference.
So would you come into this dashboard for?
Huh?
Would you come into this dashboard for? So when you've got something in your head, what makes you go, I need to go to this page to do whatever it is? Is it just planning out what you're going to do the next week, the next month, or?
Yeah. So if I have something that that needs to come up, right? For example, I wrote out my syllabus, or I got all my syllabi for the next upcoming quarter, right? So I put everything in here, and then each week I have time scheduled for myself when I'm telling myself I'm going to do homework, right? Which you'll see in the framework. So then on those 2 different days of the week, I look at this and I drag that onto that day and the time.
Okay.
I need to do that. Another thing, for example, would be, this doesn't happen often. The work to-dos honestly aren't used much. It's like if I have an idea of where I want to improve something on my channel or something, because I usually have, like I said, a framework that shows like, okay, I need to do YouTube work on this day, this day, this day. So I end up just scheduling it out in the calendar, and I go onto the framework and kind of create pages because I have a bunch of presets. Yeah, I know. It's kind of a lot.
That's a lot of templates.
It's a lot of templates, but
I have so many questions.
You do?
This is fun.
Yeah.
So this is, for me, could you not simplify your system? I'm a simplicity consultant, so I like making things as simple as possible, as minimal as possible. That's where I'm coming from. Could you not just have the one task database, but have a filter for things that do not have dates on? This is what both me and Danny do. I think, do you still do this, Danny? Because I do.
Mm-hmm.
Where basically you have your main task database filtered in 2 sections. One, and the bits underneath, on the left hand side you've got your school, and the next on the other side you've got the work. You could do that with a linked database and then have the same filters set up, because it's the same. It sounds like it's the same properties replicated 3 times. So you have your main kind of task and event calendar, you have your task, you have like your school calendar, and then you have your other calendar. You could create one database and have a single database, which would be the task and event calendar database. Mm-hmm. And then for things that you're planning, you would just have a filter for no date. That way you would be able to reduce the amount of databases you have, which for me is just exciting. So there's less things to have to figure out. And you would have it so that it filters to the planning tag. So if something is not in planning tag, so something that is not been assigned a due date, you would have, it would appear on the bottom, on the left-hand side, with either the school or the work one on the right-hand side if you have the work one.
Interesting.
So, yeah, that's
a good idea. So you're saying I could make a relational database, or not? Wait, I could make a relational database here. Well, like it actually goes further than this. This is kind of like the way my brain works. Oh
yeah, completely agree.
Yeah.
I'm very similar in that way, that I like to compartmentalize everything. But I'm thinking you could have the tasks, like the task category, because it sounds like there's a category to tasks, as the same task database, just with different filtering with the different tags. And the tags are brilliant. Like you could do, and that would reduce the amount of databases you have to go through and like figure out every so often and clean up.
So that could be really good, because not only that, but for example, I would be able to do this, and then when I clicked on the date, it would then show up on the calendar.
Yeah, instantly. Yeah.
Thank you. I have to write that down. That's good. I'm going to do that. Thank you for that. Definitely. I think I know exactly how to do it too. I just don't know. I don't think I've ever put that together in my own head.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? You know how to do things, and then you're trying to figure out. Oh wait.
Exactly. Sorry.
That's right. And trying to figure out. Oh yeah, that's actually a possible way of doing things. Oh, that's really cool. And to be fair, it's not my idea. It was Danny's. Danny did do it first, and I was just like, that's a really cool idea to just have a filter for things that are in planning, and then you can just assign them in. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So I have like a weekly thing where I improve systems and such. So I'm going to write down to do that right now.
It's brilliant. It's an active use of your system. Here we go. I can't see the chat. I'm going to see how excited the chat is.
Yeah, I was just playing around. I was messing around with different things. This is why I muted myself, because I brought YouTube up on the other screen. I was like, I don't want to do it, double it or get any echo or anything. But yeah, so I've popped up the chat on the other screen, and now I've made this bigger so I can actually see what's going on. But yeah, I was going to say the same thing John said, and when he started talking, I was like, you know what? I'm not even needed. I'll just let John talk.
Very smart idea. Very smart.
I had a feeling you were going to come that way. I thought that would be something you would say. Well, if I can find a good example, because I have so many different versions at the moment, because I'm moving everything around. So I'm trying to find a good example. I think.
So what are you looking for? Sorry, I just saw Nerdy Notion is everything into one database, multiple filter or relation. I was like,
yep. Lizzie asked to see it.
I think that was related to your tab bar. Well, our tab bar.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's
different. Yeah. So I was just saying with this one database, not necessarily, but one database for tasks. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, because it just
Makes
cleans
sense.
it up a little bit, makes it easier to manage. Because if the way I see it, if a property is repeating over and over and over again, and it's just the same properties, then it does not need to be multiple databases.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you're just making it that you're putting more work and effort into what you're doing.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So I'm curious. You have numerous templates, and I've just seen that select property, and that has a load of select properties. I assume the templates solve the select property scrolling thing, because that would be a pain for me to have to go in and select.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, I guess I'll clarify. I have never clicked one of these.
I was going to say, I was like,
I've never clicked one of these. Never. Or not never. I seldom, like extremely seldom. And you gotta understand one part about this is like I have a priority list and that is like set in all of my my workflows and everything. Number one to me at the moment, since I'm not in a full-time job, is school. Then it becomes work. Then it becomes system like housekeeping things. Then this is planning, and then this is social time. So like that's just I didn't even look at it. I'm looking at you right now. I just know that's the way it is. So whenever I try to find something in that, if I do, it is extremely quick. Because I view everything as like if you want to get tasks done, always obviously do work before you go and hang out with your friends because that's priorities. That's how life works. But I even have it more step by step in regards to like just like if I gotta do these little things, I'm big into trying to prevent myself from procrastinating. So if I force myself to never be able to clean my room before I finish an assignment that's due, like it's because some people have that really bad habit of like, oh well, I'm being productive. It's like, well, is that really your priority at the moment? Like your room being clean can be clean when you're done with this assignment. So if you have more time to do the assignment, you'll probably get a better grade, whatever.
Yeah, totally agree.
I never click on those.
So I see you've got the tick boxes in there.
But they're the reverse.
How are they?
Well, it's the status is ticked or unticked. I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah, that was one of the recent updates as well. For those that you didn't know, next to the tick box, you can actually see the name of the property. Previously, it was just a tick box, and you wouldn't actually be able to see it. But you can now.
God! You know what? I didn't even notice that he just brought that up. But you're right. That never was there. I don't like that it's there.
Changed the name of the property.
Can I hide that? Because that kind of bothers me that you brought it up.
You'd have to get rid of the name of the property, I think. So yeah.
Well, you can have it as nothing.
No, a space. If you put a space, it should be empty. Oh, they've got rid of that functionality as well.
That sucks.
Okay, that was a beautiful impression of a trumpet.
I'm impressions guy. That's my. I should make a channel about that. Yeah.
That was beautiful. As someone who knows someone who plays trumpet, that is very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I just thought like that's a new thing that they brought in with the checkboxes, and I wasn't sure if you noticed or not, and obviously not. But back to the actual checkboxes.
Mm-hmm.
Why show all of? Normally, when I'm using checkboxes, I'm using them to filter for, not to show. So like you've got the thing that you ticked, and then some that you haven't ticked. What do you use it for? Like, what's the point?
This is what I use it for. I have what is called the daily planner. So when I'm not in the planning phase of my life and I'm just on a day-to-day basis, I look at my screen, I see this is what I have to do for the day. This is what time I have to do the thing. When I'm done with it, like for example, say I finish my affirmations, it's gone.
So why do you show it in your calendar view?
Mm.
Why not just hide the property?
Mm. Or why not just hide the entries that are done?
Yeah, I would go with hiding.
That's a good question. I think that's more of a preference thing than anything. Like there are days where for some reason I end up finding myself on this page. For example, I could see the point about you saying why not hide them. Very, very astute observation. Hiding them could work, but my method of replanning, because obviously you don't finish everything you try to. So if I see it checked, it's done. If it's not checked, then I move it. So the same solution could be found through hiding them. But I prefer to see what I did. Maybe that's just me, but I just prefer to see what I did. Like
it's fair. It wasn't like an attack or anything. It was just a curiosity.
No, I totally understand where you're coming from, though. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like for me, I don't know what I would get out of seeing those crosses. But if you're using it for replanning, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
And it's good for reference when I'm like making said framework, which I'll show in the future of like, okay, what was that kind of day like? Should I do that exact same thing again? It's very easy. So then you can like say, for example, I figured out when I got to school that I have like this rotation with my roommates regarding who makes dinner on what days. We do like there's 4 of us. We all make dinner for each other like once a week. I did it on Mondays. So then once that happened, I saw that it was still there. I just duplicated it, right? Made like 15 of them for the fall and then just dragged it down. So like, I don't know, stuff like that. I feel like rather than having to change the calendar view and whatnot, just duplicating and unticking and renaming.
Yeah, I just brought up a good idea from Nerdy Notioneer. She was saying maybe use a square emoji or something from the Unicode emoji box as a status, so it hides the thing. I don't know whether it's completely get rid of it, but yeah, it's a good shout. Definitely a good shout. Roxana didn't notice that either.
Actually, to be perfectly honest, neither did I.
Why did they change that though?
You hadn't noticed?
No, genuinely hadn't.
No.
I don't often look in a calendar view though. That's why. Like I only have list views.
I never see tick boxes.
When did they change this?
In the update with the timeline view update.
But when was the timeline view update? Like 4 days ago?
When I posted the video, Wednesday.
Yeah, like 4 days ago.
4 or 5 days ago. Yeah.
So for me personally, I've had a week off of school, so I've like kind of like not been productive for 4 days. So I haven't looked at this view much. So that's my excuse.
Okay, fine.
I haven't looked at it in like 4 days. That's my excuse.
Well, I don't. So
maybe it's because it literally just
anywhere.
Yeah, right.
The only reason I worked it out is because I was playing around in Notion and noticed it and was like, why is that there?
It's kind of lame. They should have an option to untick that to get rid of that.
I mean, you could have an off and on for so many things in Notion. Like, I want to see this, I don't want to see that. And that's where all the expander extension things come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm a Notion purist.
Oh, here we go.
Notion purist.
The tab bar with your own icons. Trust me, Lizzie, I have bugged Notion so much about putting links on images or icons or anything, but nothing yet. And I mean, it's not exactly high on their to-do list either when considering like API. Right, yeah. So you
sorry.
What?
I hear API, I get excited.
Oh yeah, for those of you that don't know, Jonathan just published a video on YouTube. I know, amazing, and it's about Zapier integration with Notion, not the official Notion. Actually, Jonathan, why don't you explain it because it's your video?
So I've been testing out a new unofficial integration, but it's probably I'd like to say best unofficial integration. If you're not a coder or someone who really likes coding at all and can't code or don't want to code, it's an integration between an unofficial API and a tool called Zapier, which is like a no-code app for connecting multiple apps together and being able to just connect them together. And I have created a video where I am automatically creating a project and a task when someone purchases one of my services. For example, a Notion build, it automatically creates a project, assigns it to myself, and automatically creates a task for my VA to send an email with a link to book, and automatically assigns it to her and the project. And it's nerdy and it's great.
So
yeah,
I got a couple of things for Demetri. First of all, timeline. Do you think you would replace this calendar view for a timeline view?
No, I don't see it. For me personally, I think timeline can be good for long-term projects, right? I think maybe when I get into more of a work environment where things take longer, maybe. But I don't know about you guys, but like things take 1 to 2 days for me max. Like I subtask a lot and put them like
same
on the calendar view, right? Or in the daily planner. So what's the point of like, I like breaking it down more. So having it in multiple days is just like, I'm not a fan of that personally. I think work gets done for me more when I narrow it down and know that I'm working on YouTube rather than like, I could put it for like 2 to 3 days if I'm working on a video, but then like somewhere along the line, I forget a task or something like that. Like I know Danny has a lot of the things built into the one page, which I think works really well for you when you're working on your YouTube stuff. For me, segmenting it out into multiple like individual YouTube work sessions just works for me a little bit better. So no.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't. It's not. I don't like the timeline view, but I don't like it for my personal use case.
Yeah.
And because we're very similar, like with the YouTube stuff and content creation, I don't see the benefit of using a timeline over a calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
yeah, same here. I tried to use it for certain types of projects. So when I'm doing a build with someone for a longer term, I'm gonna sneeze.
Maybe.
No, I'm not. There we go. I scared it away. And then I was kind of experimenting with it. I think it was good for a proposal. So like if you're creating a proposal for someone, I mean, I'm a business owner, so that's where I work. And so that is about the only valuable thing in it for me personally, is like when I'm creating a proposal for someone so that they can see the workflow from start to finish. But even that is a stretch for me. I don't use it. I'm not going to use it for my projects because, like both of you, I break down my projects to tinier projects and tinier tasks. And what's the point? Yeah.
And I think personally, and this is probably the same for you guys, because this is the timeline for a turkey race. There's such a want, and I want to say need, because maybe that's a stretch because no one really needs it. I think it's a want in the Notion community for a weekly calendar, like a weekly calendar view. Yes, like do you know how many people would have liked that more than the timeline?
Well, you can do it in the timeline to an extent, but
I know, but it doesn't look nearly as good. Like
no,
all I want is literally just this, man. Just this.
Yeah.
That's how many people want that. And it's like the timeline view came out, I was like, cool. Businesses are going to use this, not one of those. I'm like businesses that specifically are using Notion or for some sort of specific task might use it, but they can use like Toggle. Toggle came out with a timeline. All these different like apps already have timelines. You know, I was like,
well, it's an interesting conversation actually, because when I look at some of the other applications, I mean, ClickUp's one that springs to mind. They've got the Gantt chart, the timeline, whatever. But when I actually look into the communities, most people don't even use them.
Yeah,
they don't use them. It's a very small use case of people that use them.
It's enterprise. It is enterprise people. It's people who
definitely, yeah. That was, I didn't articulate that well, but yeah.
Who are coming from like Jira and Confluence, like the really big, expensive, stupid apps that are really bad. Sorry, Confluence users. But like when it comes to the kind of average,
average Joe.
Yeah, average Joe or Jane
Or Jane, sorry.
It just, what's the point of a timeline? I'm not going to be using it outside of the things that I created for the video that I posted. That's what I'm using it for. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm happy with that timeline now. Bye bye.
Now I wonder from a Notion standpoint, like, isn't all these different views just a representation of databases, like, right? This database information. What has been so hard for them to get the week one to come out? Or is that just not a priority, even though it seems to be like on the forefront of a lot of our minds?
The question is that have you been asking Notion? Because if Notion don't know, they won't do anything.
Huh. I guess
the more you pester, I think more people have been pestering Notion for timeline than they have been for the week.
Really?
That's like probably what it is. It's like
so?
They will probably prioritize based on how much you complain.
I'll just complain about week timeline or weeks. Week view not being a thing more.
Yeah, I think just moan.
For me, that's the thing with the Notion community. Everyone inside the Notion community, i.e. individual users, people that are obviously in the stream, people who are in the Reddit, in the Facebook, and the rest of it, we know what the users want because we're always moaning about it, but we're moaning about it with each other. Yeah. So unless someone like gives that to Notion, they don't know. But the enterprise people moan to Notion.
Yes. So it's something that happened this week, wasn't it, Danny, on Twitter? People were saying how they didn't like the timeline limitations. And I just went, then tell Notion. I literally replied, if you don't like something, inform Notion. It doesn't matter how much you... If you don't tell Notion that you're not happy, they're not going to respond. They are giving... There's a lot of things that Notion do wrong, but something that they do really well... I knew you were going to do that.
Come on, dude.
The Notion does right is it listens. If enough people complain and if enough people say we want this, it will happen.
And they have a small team, and I respect the fact that they work pretty hard for the team that they have. And like it's definitely like it's not like they're not giving us the opportunity to tell them these things. We just probably don't do it well enough. And anytime something seems to be really talked with them about on Twitter or something, like they'll respond to people about it. And I genuinely think they're trying. If they had a huge team, I'd be a little less, forgiving about it. But they don't have, they don't have the staff, to be blunt. They have like a couple stack engineers and that's it.
Well, yet. They're hiring. So if anyone wants to start working for Notion to help us get all of these things sooner,
I had more work experience. Best believe I was going to try to apply to like some of those social media.
The community manager.
Yeah, posts. Like because that's or even some of the marketing stuff. I'm only coming into the workforce. If I was in it already, I would have been one of the first people to apply because I think the way that they talk about their jobs and whatnot. I'm very into marketing. That's like what I want my future to be. If it's not being an influencer, which it could be cool if I make videos and work, but obviously one sounds more cool than the other. The marketing world just sounds great. And Notion, you guys seem to have a pretty good working environment based on what you show on your website. So yeah.
I'm just having a look through chat. So Homesick, it was saying, give me the timeline. Oh, you know what? I'll bring it up. There you go. I'm live streaming person. I don't want to bring it up because it covers John up, but then I realized, you know what? It actually looks better. So Homesick Max profile looks better than John. Just saying. But yeah, either give me a timeline or don't. And I understand that. I really do. But I think it comes down to if you're going to use the timeline, and if you are, how many times are you going to use it? Because I think the majority of people that are going to be using the timeline, or most people that use a timeline will have one for whatever it is, their goals, their overall project is like one big view to see everything, and then they'll dial it down. I don't see multiple timeline views being useful unless you've got multiple views, like filtered views and sorts and things. But I don't know, maybe either of you know this. Is it 3 views for a database or 3 views?
They're being a little bit coy about it. They're not giving, because I asked, because this was something that I noticed, because me and Danny got it a little early. And this was something I noticed, and I immediately asked. There's no clear what is actually limited. The only people that I think it will affect is people who are building templates with a timeline view. And I was just like, okay, so there's a limitation on how many I can actually have. So I'm not building no templates then.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, because if it's you can only have 3 views per database, then you can have 4 databases, 3 views. Or is it you can only have 3 views in total? I really don't know. So Nerdy Notion has already expressed her opinion of the timeline view. Yep. I think a lot of people have done on Twitter. I know people on my threads have.
Yeah, mine too. And it's good because if you make sure Notion know, then they will listen. Anyway, we have gone off on a complete tangent. That way. So let's go back to your space. Sorry, Demetri, this is fun.
No,
I'm
you're
enjoying
good.
it.
You're good. You're good. So,
Do you want to go to your? Because you were going through your daily, bouncing backwards and forwards. So I'd like to see how. So that's basically your monthly planning, isn't it?
That's like weekly plan. So when I am so annoyed about not having the weekly one, it's mainly because like I plan week by week. So I'm like, come on, man. But really quick question: can you hear a hissing noise in the background right now?
No, but I'm half deaf.
Okay, well that is true. No, big deal. It's just my heater's being loud, and I didn't want that to affect anything. So my daily planner page is a representation and like a bunch of relational databases put onto one area, right? So I have all the different things in my day that I'm going to do, whether it just be like habits. Habit tracking is important, and I think having it in Notion is cool. I used to have it kind of separate with the Done app recently. I go back and forth whether I have it on here or not. But I have my task and event calendar. As you can see, I have a habit tracker on there. I have my notes. Like if I just want to vent or like, just like journaling in general, this is kind of where my journal is. I don't dislike writing handwritten, but like I type faster. Like I just feel like it's personally, I waste time. If yeah.
I get really annoyed when people go, "Oh, you should journal with pen and paper because it's so much better. It feels better. I don't care. I can type 3-4 times as fast as I can write.
Yeah.
I don't need to look. It's a stream of conscious. Like
I can read it.
Dude,
my writing is atrocious.
Exactly. My writing is horrible. So I did a journaling challenge for 30 days that I made on my channel like a couple months back, and I really did enjoy it. And I did it with pen and paper. But then I did it on this, and I was like, well, do I dislike venting on this? Any like, do I not like venting on this? Do I not like getting my thoughts out on the computer? And I was like, no. I mean, maybe it's a little less wholesome or whatever. And I get where people are coming from, but I don't agree that it's the way to go personally, because I am like many other people, or maybe I'm not like other people, but I don't look at the keyboard much when I'm typing. I don't actually look at the screen sometimes. Like sometimes I just, and people think this is funny because a lot of my like friends can't really touch type as well as me. I type relatively quite quick. I'm not like, I know Ali Abdul like types really, really quick. Well, I don't know if that's,
I think most people that are on the computer can type 70 words per minute, roughly. I mean, I know I'm sitting at around 85, 90. I think John's about 100.
Yeah, 90 and 100, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like in between you two guys. I know I do to the tests every once in a while. I'm like 85, 10, 90 or whatever. Yeah. And like I'll look off into space, and that's my kind of place when I'm thinking. I'm looking off into space, typing, because that's my stream of conscious. Because like the screen's kind of distracting. Like if I just look into a blank space and type, the real thoughts come out. That's when the real work happens. So if I can't do that with a pen and paper, because you're gonna do like it's gonna be like, next thing you know, you're gonna be writing on your leg. So that's where my journal is. And then I can click on this and see. I haven't journaled in like a week probably, but yeah.
So your notes database is not for clippings, not nail clippings, as in like website clippings.
Yeah, I do use that app. That was funny.
Sorry, that joke was so bad.
That was funny. I use the Google Chrome extension sometimes to clip and put it into the notes database. But what I then will do, honestly, is I'll just then use that note and keep clipping onto the same one for the day. It's kind of a daily thing. I could separate it more, but I find that I just keep doing it for the day because this is filtered to show whatever's today. And every week when I go through a systems improvements thing, I kind of look back at my notes for the week and think, did I complain about something a lot? Did I say I like something a lot? If I really liked it, try to incorporate it more. If I didn't like it, incorporate it less. Self-improvement, yada, yada, yada. And I also, as you can see, just have the habit tracker. I have a calendar view, just a bunch of duplicated, just 3 habits I'm trying to build. Trying to get a job for when I'm out of grad school, replying to comments more often because I fall into the habit of not doing that. And then also tweeting more because I know that kind of helps with growing different platforms, helps grow the YouTube channel. So I've been trying to tweet more, reply to more tweets, whatnot. And then as you can see real quick here, I also have what my social media posts for the day are for my YouTube channel. My school and event calendar, it's a Sunday. Obviously I don't have school. And when I'm working out, this is what
I know what's coming. I know what he's about to ask. I'm going to let him ask it because it's going to be the same thing as what's going through my head. Go.
Let's see if we are thinking the same thing. Why don't you combine your notes database and habit tracker into into a journal database? Because then you can have a journal entry, and then a property be a habit, and then every day the habits will refresh automatically. And then if you need to journal, you just journal in the page.
Could do that. However, I could. So
because with the calendar view, you can now view those 3 properties and see which habit you did and didn't do because of the name of the property.
That is true. Definitely could look into that in the future. However, wouldn't I then have to? Well, I don't know if I'd rather have it separate like that or not, because, for example, I'm not taking a journal, or I'm not journaling every day. Obviously, I would have to. I don't know how I'd filter this out to not show anything if I haven't written anything.
You wouldn't need to. It's just you'd show one day. So instead of having the 3 habits, it would just be today. And then if you journal, then you'll have something in the page. If you don't, then you won't have anything in the page.
Yeah.
And then you'll have a tick box on the right-hand side that you just tick, tick, tick.
For when you've done them or when you haven't done them.
Yeah. That's I think on
just
that. That's a decent thought. I mean, I think it might just be I could do that. I'll think about it. I don't know. Sometimes it's just preference, I feel like, but I could do that. Well,
so what's your process when you have a new day? Because I would imagine you've got those 3 habits there. Do you just duplicate them?
Oh, I just duplicate them for months, and they show up the next day.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
It doesn't. I think this. I have this really nice mouse, Logitech MX Master 2S, but it sometimes bugs out for a second. I have to turn it off. I did this many months of stuff in 3 minutes. So so I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely easy to do. You just alt drag a few times and then just alt drag the weeks down, and then you could alt drag the months down if you really wanted to. But yeah.
So that's.
I'm just thinking if you change a habit or take away a habit, you then have to get rid of all of those iterations in every single duplicated version you've made in the future. Whereas if it's in a property, once you've got rid of the property's gone.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I guess my easy fix, if anyone wants to do the way I do it, to make it easier to get rid of all of them, is just filter with the name. Really quick, just filter work. Look. And then you just.
Yeah, that's true. Filtering out the habits. Cool. Right, that's weekly / monthly planning and daily. You've got loads of other tabs up there.
Yeah, this is exciting. I'm enjoying it.
Oh yeah, I do. Sorry. You get boxed into your own world and you forget what looks different to others, I guess. So this is school. This is just literally when you're in class, right? You take notes.
Supposed to.
You're supposed to. I'm going to make a new one so that I don't just show everyone's like names. Marketing class. I'm gonna just do this marketing class online. This is an example because I don't want to show people's information, obviously. John Doe. Doe at Gmail.
I assume you have a template for certain lessons or classes. Sorry.
No, not really.
Do you have
actually-
different professors then?
So what I usually do is this. You have like 15 weeks of class, right? Or 10 weeks of class right now. I'm in quarters. So I just, at the beginning of each quarter or semester, when I get my syllabus, I put all the information in the first one. Besides like homework, test, quiz, because the first week I don't want to have all these tags like get changed, right? Because I don't want like, I just want the bare bones information, the syllabus, the information of the professor, where it is. And then this stuff is more, I actually don't know why I have the class tags. Like they don't show up anywhere. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of annoyed with myself as to why. This is just literally, I've been using this for like 2 years. So I don't know why these exist, honestly. It's one of those things.
That's one of those things that you don't really show unless you're actually showing someone your space.
Yeah, honestly. I'm probably gonna get rid of that. So what I do is I have this filled out, right? It'll have the syllabus there too. And then I duplicate it 10, 15 times. So it'll be there for the whole quarter. And then after it's all duplicated out, I go through each week. I look at the syllabus. I write, okay, do I have homework for this week? I put it here. Do I have items due? And then I put the items due there. And then it is a place for information. Also, when I'm in class, since it's online now, I just open up at the beginning of class. Since I have 2 screens, I have Zoom on one screen. I have this and probably a web browser, like split in half. And I just take notes like this.
Yep.
So yeah.
I'm curious. When it comes to duplicating all those properties, how do you get rid of the copy of?
Easy. You duplicate it 15 times, and then you highlight them all and you right click and you rename like this.
Oh, because it's all the same name, so that when you rename it,
It's just the same class. It's just the same class.
Yeah.
Class.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
So for example, now when I go back to my daily planner,
I was just hoping you didn't go in and manually type them out, because that would have driven me mad.
Yeah. So for example, let's say I actually had class at 6 p.m. tonight, because that's when I have all my night classes. On my daily planner, I'd see this here. Just press this. That's where my class notes are for the day.
Yeah.
And also, it's nice to see, for example, say I had homework for the day, just like a quick reminder of, oh, dang, did I not do homework? Oh, dang, do I have an exam I forgot about? Like, I usually don't, but just good to know. So that is the school calendar. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. I don't like it being in the same spot as like my task or event calendar. I don't really see how that could work personally. I like that different segmentation, because all these different properties, like, I don't know how I'd manage that.
I mean, you could hide the properties that you don't need to see.
Yeah, that's new, obviously. That just happened. Before I was like, I don't think, like, I'm not gonna have like 7 properties that are just like gonna be sitting there on my task and event calendar.
Yeah, I've hidden most of my properties now.
I bet, man. I bet, because that was a really nice thing they did that. I have not done any of that yet. As I mentioned, I haven't really done much work in like 4 or 5 days, but
it's the first thing I did. As soon as I realized that we could do it, I was like, that's it. Properties, goodbye.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Because like for me, as you can see on the daily planner here, I honestly only show what it is, like the little tag, right? And the tick box and the time. I don't really like, oh, these are nice, I guess. But like,
yeah, I don't even show that stuff in the page, because if I can see it on my dashboard, I don't see the point of seeing it in the page.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. I'll get to that, honestly. Like I said, I haven't fiddled with it, but I think it's very good. change that they made. Kind of happy that they're going to let us minimalize the information we're going to get.
You might want to get rid of some of those pages before you forget as well.
Oh, these? Oh, yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Yeah, because you created another one as well, and I don't remember where it was.
Oh, I moved it back.
Oh, okay.
It's gone. So yeah, I go through and at the beginning of every semester, I put everything down. While I do that, that's where you see how I got all of this. Like I went through my syllabi on Saturday and like put all the, assignments in there. So that's how I did that.
Nice.
Ooh.
What the other tabs?
What are the other tabs for what?
Oh, well, at the top, you've gone through. Yeah, you've gone through home, daily, calendar, and school.
This is training. So I run a lot. I have not updated this because I've taken some time off. 1 and 2. Let me go back. This is just a couple weeks. This is fine. These are in miles, by the way, not in K. So Ks. Although I do K repetitions often. This is just like my log. I got like running. I just wrote a little bit of note about it. Just have a little like how long it took, actual mileage, what I plan to do, what I actually end up hitting because I have like a little GPS watch.
I've just had to zoom in. You're using a formula.
I don't use it really much.
Using a roll-up or formula.
I'm using a formula. Yep. So that's just the workout minutes divided the mileage divided by the minutes, minutes divided by mileage.
Because last time you were on stream, you didn't have a formula or a roll-up.
Or a roll-up. You're right.
I think you only had like one relation as well.
No, I really didn't. That just tells you can use it for a long time, and if you get set in your ways, you don't change many things. But I have tried to incorporate some things.
Well, if you don't need to, then don't do it.
Yeah. But this is just like I always think about like my easy runs and like sort of what the pace was and whatnot and distance. And this is just a way to keep up to date with like, if I'm working out, what I'm doing. That kind of is like one of my less updated calendars. Because I don't know. I know what I'm going to do most of the time for my training. And like if I fail to update it, it's okay. I have like the Garmin watch that has everything stored on Garmin. And if there was a way to quickly transfer it, like, I don't know, that'd be nice.
Does Garmin support Zapier? I'm going to look now while you carry on.
Garmin Connect.
This is an API between Garmin and Zapier.
Yeah, look up Garmin Connect. I think there's I think there's like maybe CSV exports. I'm not really sure. If there's a CSV export, that could really probably make it work.
Something that people are talking about in chat, which I think is a symptom of updates, is Home6 said I'd like them to improve hiding properties so that it can also be per page and not for the whole database. And I agree that would be nice.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But there are, I think there's one of those symptoms with Notion in that when an update comes out, we then all go, oh, if you were to add this and this and this and this and this, and we all come up with our own thing, but that adds 20 more things onto Notion, which I feel really bad for Notion in that, because every time they come out with an update, everyone goes, yes. And 2 or 3 days later, we all go, can you do this now?
Yeah, because I hadn't even considered hiding the properties, right? And then the second they do that, they go, but I like hiding them. But maybe you could do more than that, Like I definitely agree with you on there. That's not exactly the easiest thing for a company to have to deal with, because that's like scope creep. Just like when you're like doing a project, they're finishing the project and then we like reverse scope creep them. Like we just or inversely scope creep them after the fact, and it's like Notion's got to be like, really, yeah.
It's the same with almost every direction Notion can take.
Yeah, right.
You can look at anything in Notion, whether that's the color of the pages, the colors in general, the colors of text, the colors of blocks, the fonts of text, the fonts of blocks, when things show, when things don't show. Like everything can be expanded in multiple directions. And as soon as they add something in, it's like, we add one thing, right, let's add another 10 possibilities onto the list.
Yeah.
I mean, the API is going to be, we add the API. Here's 10,000 more things we want you to do. It's just, madness.
And if the API is similar to what we've already got with the unofficial stuff. The things that are going to suck is the fact that it seems, because I haven't seen any way in Zapier to be able to add things, like add people to pages. It seems to be all very much add this to this database, add this to this page, add this to the is very like just updating and adding things to specific pages and databases. It's not much more than that. And so I can hear already people going, "Oh, why can't we add people? I want a Zapier integration so that I can add new people on, and I want to be able to do this, and I want to be able to do that." I'm just like,
Well,
you can't win.
As soon as you bring API in, people then go automations. That's a whole nother question. Like automations and API, they're two completely different things.
Yeah.
Automations in a database. Whew. I mean, they haven't updated the databases since they brought them in, have they? Because I mean, filters, I guess, is a database update, but it's because I think self-referencing filters must have been the last update to Notion for database.
I don't know what they really can do for the day. I mean, they could do some stuff, I'm sure, but yeah, they haven't done anything.
Trust me, I've got a list.
Oh yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. That's...
What list?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm not even joking. I have a wish list. I think I've got like 7,000 things in it, like some small things, some big things. But like databases include all of the properties. So as soon as you include properties, that's formulas, things I'd like in formulas, things I'd like in rollups, things I'd like in relations, things I'd like in text properties, things I wouldn't like, things I would like. I mean, we've gone over a few of these in the podcast as well, like filtering and sorting, select properties, multi-select properties, having
hiding stuff inside of like rollups,
being able to click through a rollup relation.
Oh, yes. I think that episode's live. Is that episode live? I don't even remember anymore.
Oh, I can't remember. But there's so many things that they could do. It's just how do they do it? I don't count praying. Oh, okay. Paying customer. Fair enough. Yeah, so do you want to carry on with your space, Demetri? You've muted yourself. Is that something going on in the background?
Oh, yeah. I'm just trying to be courteous to the watchers, as some people that I live with are allowed and forget that I'm doing things. Anyways, so I have, what do I have next? I did my training planning calendar framework. This is what I was talking about earlier. So if I had an ideal week, this is what the week would look like, right? Just a little board view. What I have here shows like different things. It's kind of like I know what some of this is. For some people, this may be a little confusing. It probably looks very confusing to most people. So I have a mixture of like the tasks I'm gonna do and like stuff that I have scheduled out for like YouTube videos. So it's kind of a mix of both. As you can see, like I have where my cursor is right now. That's when I'm uploading on Sundays, and the Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook post that follows. Don't ask me why I have Sunday as the last and not the first day. I don't know why I'm going based off. Or wait, is that a common thing in the UK for Monday to be the first day of the week? Sorry, the US does it based on Sunday, and I'm just weird and I don't follow the standards of the country that does it different than everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, I start on Monday, but then some people start on different days of the week. Completely depends when their week starts. I've seen some people start on Wednesday because that's where their main work week starts. Wow, where their work week starts. So,
yeah,
something that has sprung to mind, and I can't avoid asking. You plan this out in a board view on the week. Why not just plan out your other stuff in a board view as well, rather than in a calendar?
Because it's a task. I like the task, like size of the calendar. I feel like a board view would just be too big. I don't know. Also, like, how can you continuously do? Wait, are you saying like why isn't my task flash event calendar like this?
Yeah, because you said you plan your calendar. You plan your stuff out by a week, and I mean, obviously you've got the week view there. So I was just curious why you don't use a board view for your planning instead of your calendar view.
I don't think I'd like that.
Okay. I was just curious because you've got two different styles of week planning.
Yeah, this is more of like a, how do I word this? I'm not gonna. It's like a story, like say when you're trying to write a book, it's like a storyboard. Like this isn't the writing. Does that make sense? A little bit. I think for me personally, the way this looks is more of a planning, or not planning. This is more of a reference point than the calendar, which is more tangible. I don't know.
I understand what you're saying. I think I have something similar, but I just use a table on my front. It's like the themes of the week as such. These are the things I'm planning to do this week. It's a themes of the week. It's what I've got on my homepage, but mine's a table.
And like I said, I don't have on my calendar view, or I didn't say that. I said just that I have the posts on here, like my YouTube schedule uploads. Like I don't actually have to upload my YouTube stuff on Sunday because I do
It's
that.
an ideal,
ideal day when it exists.
Yeah.
So
I understand that.
Yeah. So it's not a task more than it is a concept of existence.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So is it kind of like an ideas base, because it's, unless you've got a relation to your tasks.
This is literally, so I have two screens, right? What I do is this. I will have this on one screen. Do you think if I, let me do this. I don't have a huge screen. This won't be obviously easy to do with. So what I would do is this.
Yeah.
You see, if I had two screens, obviously I have 27 inch, 24 inch. This is not going to be smushed, guys. So you'll be able to read everything. So what I do is I go, okay, I'm planning. I'm on Sunday. I go, all right, let's go on to Tuesday. As you can see, right before I went this is like the ideal time. Another example of this would be, I have basic website maintenance. I'd like to do it 11:30 on Tuesday. So I go to and then I just, that's a trick, by the way. I location for me doesn't matter much when it comes to my tasks, but I kind of block it out in my brain. But did you notice what I just did there?
Yeah, that's pretty
Every
cool.
template has location, because like you're never going to be able to like have a location planned out in the template. So what I do is I have the name of the template, because the template is not like like you have a template name. All right, I didn't word that well. Let me just start again. You have these templates, right? When you click on the name, does the name show up? No, it doesn't.
Not anymore. It used to right at the beginning.
And it doesn't. And that irritated me. So my solution was I just Control X, paste it, and it takes like half a second. That's my solution.
It's nice.
Yeah. So now I have a reference point, and it's 11:30. I know what time I need to do it, and it'll work out. And that's what I do for twice a week, my whole planning. And then if things need to be adjusted, I adjust it. I have a block schedule on Google Calendar that I kind of like have blocks of time. I know people I don't know if you guys use block scheduling. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. Oh, sorry, wait, I feel like that was bad because you're both British. Anyways, that was.
I don't drink tea, so it's fine.
Okay.
Danny, you do not deserve to be British because you do not.
I don't drink coffee either, so.
Okay. Okay. Well, I know it's not for everyone, but for me, let me go back a couple weeks because I am not running this week, so it kind of throws off my whole block schedule. I have like times for when I work on things, like work equals anything but school. Productive means school, or housekeeping things like cleaning and whatnot. Housekeeping also means orange. The colors are across all of my systems, right? So I don't like how people put block schedules with their specific tasks named. And the reason that bothers me is because that means they're not also using a calendar like Notion. You know what I'm saying? Because like you can't do anything with like, what are you going to put notes in your Google Calendar block? Like what? Who's going to do that? That sounds archaic, even though you're using technology. Which the irony there is hilarious, but like that just sounds off. So that makes sense.
Exact reason I don't use Google Calendar. I can't put my notes with it. I can't put my tasks with it. I can't put ideas with it.
So it's always just a reference point for me. The Google Calendar is a reference point for me based on like my life and when I am trying to do things and when I have class and whatnot. And when I have work, it'll obviously be a little like, for example, why would someone who's working from 9 to 5 have like anything but this concept of the Notion calendar? Because like what are you gonna put, like, you plan on working this project from this time to this time? Like, it's probably not gonna work out like that. I don't know, like I just don't see it. So that's my thoughts on that. Anyways,
Agreed.
so that is kind of how that framework is used along with my calendar and my Google Calendar to kind of see like, okay, this is the time. Sometimes I don't have to look at my Google Calendar unless things change throughout the week. But yeah, this is generally like what my ideal week looks like. And as you can see, I actually kind of adjust my framework all the time. I plan out based on hours too, which I don't think I got into really much in the last one. But as you can see with the Google Calendar, there is a certain amount of red time here, right? That's the amount of time I really have in a week to reasonably work on things based on my sleep schedule and whatnot, right? Then I kind of do the math of like, how long does it take me to make a video? How long does it take me to do this, do that? I do the math. I have about like 26 hours I can work on YouTube and whatnot. So I like, could be less, could be more, but usually it's around this amount. I plan it out. I make the framework. When I'm done with it, I tuck it away into a toggle box for later for reference.
That's nice. It's I know you tracked time. I don't know if you still do with Toggle. Do you still track time?
Yeah. So my opinion on this is this, and if anyone wants a more in-depth breakthrough, or maybe it's less in-depth because I have more time to talk because it's a live stream, on a video I made on Friday, my opinion is this: time track for like a month to 6 weeks if you're in a certain job, occupation, amount of school hours you have, and then assess and be like, all right, how much hours am I working on school? Do I have good grades? All right, I'm working enough on school. Do I socialize too much? Maybe I need to cut it back. And then you readjust it. You make a calendar based around the hours, because I think the block scheduling is really good personally. So you make it like, I made this schedule around me time tracking and then allotting that amount of hours, as you can see here, right? No, sorry. Like I allotted the amount of hours onto a Google Calendar, and then I was done with time tracking, because what's the point? This doesn't make sense to me. People time track all the time. If it's your sense of trying to keep you yourself focused on things, I don't want to bash on anyone on that, because I'm obviously trying to see people improve their life through Notion or whatever sort of productivity means that is. I personally just don't get, why would you manually log your time if you could just duplicate a calendar like this a million times and it's set up forever? And then you just follow the calendar. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, it's a fair point. I personally don't track my time. But that's me. I use auto-regulation is the technical term, but essentially I just listen to my body. But that works for me, and it definitely doesn't work for a lot of people.
Listen to my body. Listen to my body. You said that really weirdly.
What's it called? Background. He's got a degree in you want to be a trainer.
I got 2 degrees.
2 degrees, yeah. So he's got 2 degrees in that. So listening to your body makes sense, because that's kind of half of what maybe was preached in the training.
Just because I've got a degree does not mean I'm smart. It means I've got a piece of paper that says my name on it.
It does. But I believe you are a smart person, and I think that a lot of what you were probably taught in regards to rest days and whatnot involved listening to your body. And as someone who's been avidly running for a long time, I definitely know what that's like, because I'm taking 2 weeks off after having trained for 6 months. So
active rest, I hope.
Well, the first week I don't like to active rest. The first week I like to be a slob. That's my preference.
Don't tell an S&C coach that, especially if you're training for performance.
Yeah. But part of it. I mean, we're getting into the weeds about this. Part of it's like if you're getting competitive into something, there is something to be said about mentally getting yourself away from the sport or whatever it is. But anyways, back into Notion. Sorry about that.
Well, I think that's actually related. So when it comes to mindset, like John and I, was it last week's stream where you asked me a question, John, and I was like, mindset. was the answer. Was that a stream or was it a podcast? I don't remember. But anyway, when it comes to mindset, Notion is a tool. And if you don't have the right mindset, it doesn't matter what setup you've got, how you set the Notion up, or what way you work. If your mindset's not there, then it's kind of useless. Like you could have the best setup in the world or the worst setup in the world, but at the end of the day, it's your mindset as to whether you're going to do something or not. Because a lot of people don't use any application, like they use paper.
Yeah,
they use things
I
like
don't remember whether it was the podcast or whether it was just our conversation.
That's funny. That's how that bleeds through together.
Well, I mean, I unfortunately I spend a lot of time with John.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Unfortunately, cheers for that.
Oh, I'm joking.
It's your choice. You invited me here.
No, I invited you on a stream like 2 months ago, and now we have a podcast and a channel.
I love it. But I agree with you on the mindset thing. Like I personally, like I said, I've been like kind of taking the last week off mentally and physically. So the second that happened, all of my systems regarding keeping up with my Google Calendar, keeping up with this, that, and the other, my Notion is not very planned out. And everything came crumbling down within 5 days. Not exactly. Obviously, I get it back on the horse. It's fixed in like an hour. But, I had the greatest system in the world. But if I have the mindset of I'm taking this week off, it looks like I just don't keep up with Notion. So, yeah.
Oh, we all do the same. I mean, it might not necessarily be a mindset. It might just be the fact that there's an update or your system is changing and you look at your system, your Notion, you go, wow, this is a mess.
Yeah, I agree with that. Very fair. Very fair.
Mine at the moment.
Mine's looking fairly clean right now. I'm quite happy with it at the moment.
I think mine's in a perpetual state of looking pretty clean. Like overall, like I don't change probably. You guys fiddle with it a lot more than me. I do like once a week now. I do a lot of fiddling with it.
Once a week?
A week for an hour. Literally, that's it.
For an hour?
Yeah, once a week for an hour.
I'm looking like 2 hours a day. I'm tweaking.
Once a week for an hour. The system improvements is what I do it. Whether it's me trying to improve what my block schedule is, if I don't think I need certain tasks, if I don't want to work on certain things anymore, or if I think I need to work more or less on different tasks and activities. I think I could do it more. I am spread thin regarding a lot of things I do in my life at the moment. So I'm just
I guess, John, our jobs are related to Notion, so we can afford it.
Mine is not. It's definitely like I do stuff, and my YouTube videos are not only about Notion. If they're only about Notion, it'd be a double dip, right? I could find inspiration for content around it. And while I make a Notion video every few months, I just have to research and brainstorm about self-development and minimalist topics more than I would about Notion. Now, if I was in the Notion community and more in your guys' space, then this like content brainstorming could be added to this, or et cetera, et cetera. So
competition, bring it on.
Yeah. I love the app, but yeah. I think it's definitely.
You have an actual social life.
I would say I do have that. So
yeah.
you know what? I think
I can't speak for Danny, but I know I don't.
I think
you don't need one. You've got a wife and 2 kids.
I've been open about this before. I think that it's important to be social in some sort of means, and you guys are social with each other all the time, and I think it's a very healthy form of social interaction. This is talking from somebody who don't get it twisted. I had a severe World of Warcraft addiction for 3.5 years, and I didn't really talk to people in person for like 3.5 years during college. So it's not like I'm the embodiment of a social interaction until like now I've gotten back to a normal place with it. So that's that everyone goes through that kind of stuff.
I mean, just putting it out there, being a creator, whatever platform you're on, being a creator, whether that's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or an individual creating stuff for services, it's a lonely profession. If you are an entrepreneur and you're working by yourself and you are your own boss, you are literally everyone to yourself, unless you have a VA, whether that's an assistant, an actual VA, or it's someone that you're working with. So I don't know, helping with graphics or helping with design or helping with editing or something like that. If you're doing all of it, you're alone. Like For the at the moment, as a YouTuber, you come up with ideas yourself. You then record the video with yourself. You're talking to a camera by yourself. You then edit the video by yourself. You then schedule it by yourself. And yes, you're responding to comments, but they're just words on a screen. It's not talking to someone, which is the exact reason I started the live stream. I was like, I'm lonely.
Yeah. I think the I have a podcast as well, guys, and like I definitely think that's gotten me to like I'm interacting with you because of this. That takes a little bit of the loneliness out of it. I think someone who's doing really good at managing this and has been kind of a slept on person who's done a really good job at this for his whole career, and it has been Thomas Frank, excuse me, because he has Martin Bamey like the whole time, like by his side, whether it's through the podcast he does like every week with him. Ali Abdul obviously has his brother on his podcast. Excuse me, and he like lives with, obviously he has a fiance now, and I think like the fact that he is in a committed relationship kind of helps with that, like
yes,
be like corny or whatever, but like the consistent, if she's someone who's around that's at home. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Matt Diavella at all.
I was just about to bring him up as well. Yeah,
like just the fact that his wife, or I don't know if they actually get officially married because the marriage got canceled due to COVID, but like maybe they got it like legally done, whatever. He calls her
partners.
His wife. He calls her his wife now, so maybe they did it. He never mentioned it, but so his wife ended up starting her own online business as well, and they lived together at home. So like when she used to probably go out for the day, he referenced how he was home alone from like 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. and it was like, oh, thank God, now Nat's home. His at that time girlfriend Natalie got home, and like now he's with her the whole day, and whether he's actually with her, you know what I'm saying? Like there's the water cooler time, as a lot of people like to call it in the business world. The water cooler time is so good for your social health. I think that's kind of slept on.
Yeah, I think when you look at a lot of creators, a lot of the bigger creators and smaller creators, there is a team behind them that most people don't see in video. Because obviously we're going through YouTube, just watching the video. We're watching them in front of the screen, putting B-roll in and racking in all the money because of all the views and this stuff. But there's actually like a massive team behind them. Some of them having larger teams than others, but a lot of big creators have 4 or 5 people with them, whether that's an editor, 2 editors, a manager, brand deals, like someone to manage that, like whoever it is, or just a partner.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There is a team behind them, unless you're a small budding creator like us, and we're sort of by ourselves. Well, I guess Jonathan's not a small budding creator. He is a big businessman.
He's got nothing to say.
No.
That's it.
Big businessman.
You're a big responsible businessman that has responsibilities. You've got people to look after. I've just got to like pay for food and rent. For me, you've actually got people to look after apart from yourself.
Yes.
So, but yeah, this kind of went really sideways. I mean, I'm quite happy to talk YouTube for hours on end, as is Notion. But hey, that's not this stream. So we've gone through. Have we gone through YouTube, or is this because this is the framework, isn't it?
This is just the framework. We have not gone through YouTube. YouTube is the next one, which is why.
MCA.
Oh God, I don't want to. Oh man, I was gonna say that. I'm just kidding.
You've got to expect it. I mean,
so this is not really used much. I'll be honest. Some thoughts get put here, not much. Just ignore this. Excuse me. When I open up YouTube, though, there's a relational database showing my entire video project tracker, which shows last week and this week's stuff. Sorry, I kind of let that like hunk dry there, but like within a month span sort of thing. Right? I just see what's like for the month. So this is like, it's not everything that I got, but it's things going forward. So this is just an easy way for me because I'm clicking through it like this, correct? And I personally, as someone who goes through these binges of content idea, I find a bunch of keywords that I think are good, topics that I think are good, and I plan out all the videos for a while, right? So besides podcast guests and the topics of that, I don't really plan a whole lot besides like some little things throughout the week and on topics that is. And the same goes for like my social media posts that go along with it. Because as you can see,
So all your ideas in there.
this is just the relational database of the video project tracker. And the answer is no. I do have a content ideas sort of splurge page that I'll show you in a sec, I guess. This is just like stuff for the next like month, like if I want to see what videos I have coming up. I know you have videos planned for a while too. I know you're one of those people.
Sorry. You're one of those people.
No, is it? Hey, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people.
So
I'm really not.
if I was to make every single video idea I currently have in my system, I would be good until I think it was March 22.
Yeah, I know you have like a lot.
But not all of those are going to turn into videos because I'm generating like 30 ideas a day.
Yeah, and that's fair. I think this is definitely the more finalized area. I do have more ideas than this. This is more like I've checked if the keywords are decent. I've thought to myself, would I really like to make this video? Would it be a feasible video to make? And then I go from there. So this is, if people want to know what I'm making videos on for a while, enjoy. I don't really, today, I don't really care about telling people. So I already published that. This is upcoming videos.
That there.
I know. We talked about this. I don't really care as much as you do about it.
Oh, yes.
It comes down to that, man. Like, I know we talked about this before. I just don't care. You're very nitpicky.
I like to have it automated. No one cares.
Mock him about it. I don't care.
Oh no, it is very true. It's just for me that would drive me mad.
I just look at it and like, oh yeah, okay. Like that's me, but you're probably like,
yeah, I can't do it because then I get all disorganized. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. So this is the upcoming. This is literally anything that is not that has been on the status published will disappear. All the videos in a list are here. Ideas is kind of a relative status. Ideas are more. It is a finalized idea. I'm going to make it as a video, but it is not in the stage of me researching it. It is not in the stage of me scripting it, etc. Yeah. So this is where I plan everything. I have. Oh, my bad. Sure.
I mean, it's fine for me, but obviously a little bit quiet for.
Yeah, my bad. No problem. Is that better? I will see the answer in about 30 seconds because delay.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of different properties here. I will admit one thing. If I had to say something about all my properties, I have a really bad time updating my URL property. Don't know why. All I'm saying
Do you know what I'm going to say?
I know what you're going to say. Just don't say it.
Make it a task.
Who really cares though? The only reason these exist is though. Do you know the only reason?
You know what I'm going to say? Do you know what I'm going to say?
What?
You could automate it with Notion automations. No, genuinely, you actually could.
Yeah.
You genuinely could.
Okay.
So yeah, that's something. Oh, that's good. I'm going to do that. I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to do that.
Yeah, cool.
You know what you should do, John? You should use this amazing app called Notion and write it down.
You guys heard of Notion? I saw that, Jonathan. That wasn't subtle.
No, it doesn't need to be.
That's funny. I don't know why I have such a bad time with this. Genuinely, the reason that this exists is really not anything besides the fact that once you become a YouTube creator, you are like how Danny's like monetized and has become part of their network. If you have the URL and for some reason the video doesn't work anymore or gets deleted, you can send a request to YouTube to get it back.
So,
oh gosh,
no, I was just going to say.
Buckle up, everybody.
I was just going to say the reason that I've got the URLs in there is that when I'm linking between other content, I don't have to go to the video. So when I'm making a Facebook post or a tweet or an Instagram post or another YouTube video or something in the community tab, I can just do it straight from Notion. And because of the way I link all of my projects, so I can see how many pieces of content goes backwards and forwards. Having that link there means I can just copy and paste it through. But that's my biggest benefit in that. Otherwise, I'd be searching up there, going into Studio all the time, like, oh, what did I name that video?
And that does help too. Don't get me wrong. However, as I referenced, I kind of have this habit of like making a bunch of social media posts after I plan the video type. So then like sometimes like I end up filling out all these URLs in like batches. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of I get what you come from, but I just link it based on the name and stuff. So I'll show you these social media stuff in a second here. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else I could break down in this project tracker. I think recently I've kind of started putting I had a calendar view recently added. That's not really a big deal, but just to get more of an idea of what it looks like. Sorry, what do you want to ask?
How many of those views do you use?
Oh yeah, dude, I barely use any of them. Well, you know, wait.
I just saw a list. I was like,
Let me rephrase that. I have this habit of segmenting the type of videos I make. And when I am planning out big batches of them, it's easier for me to do this. It's easier for me to add 4 in this view than seeing the whole list to the video number. Does that make sense? It's quite literally for this reason, for the date and the video number. Like when I made about 10 of these the other day, right? You duplicate, you just change a couple, you turn your brain off for like 2 minutes and it's done. Now, if I had it all in the all videos version of this, now I could just filter it down for a second and undo it, but I'm lazy.
I was going template, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But what do you use the video number for?
File storage and knowing like the order of mainly file storage and like organization of like the whole all videos tab and the upcoming videos tab, just knowing it's in the right order and whatnot.
Okay.
So when in my here you guys go.
Because I sort it by date published, so I know when the video went out.
Yeah, I actually do sort it by date published because I recently didn't, but
you are sharing your documents.
I know.
Okay.
I know. This is just all my OneDrive of the stuff, like the videos I've uploaded before, right? So, everything's pretty much numbered, so that
just something. Whenever I see a creator using OneDrive, be very careful. I used to use OneDrive all the time, and then something went wrong. Don't know why. Neither did OneDrive, but I lost 3-4 years worth of work.
No.
So be very careful with using OneDrive as a I assume you have it somewhere else as well, but just be careful using OneDrive because their weird like history stuff doesn't work very well. I switched to Google Drive. Dropbox also is good because of how OneDrive, sorry.
So John, why don't you back up Notion?
Stop.
Thank you. I didn't even need to say anything like that.
Stop.
Because it's bloody useless. That's why.
Oh, I know. I just had to ask.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment from Jonathan.
It's absolutely useless.
Oh, completely agreed. You can't do anything with it.
Hashtag stop. But yeah, the numbers are another sort of organization tool because, for example, I go through a habit as well of making a lot of videos at once. And I do a series that's just like a candid conversation where like I can kind of spit out like 6 or 7 of them in a sitting. And then they will be not planned for each week, but they will be planned for months in advance. So while the publish date could be a good way to organize it as well, in my files, the number helps.
That makes
The
sense.
number helps. So it's just another marker of organization.
I just saw the emoji face and I was like, I gotta bring that up. I'm a sucker for emojis. I use emojis like everywhere.
Yeah, just be careful with OneDrive.
Okay.
It could, like,
I appreciate
I'm a techie and nerdy and everything, and I spent so long trying to fix it,
that sucks, man.
and it wasn't happening. So just, I don't trust OneDrive whatsoever anymore.
That's unfortunate. I feel you there.
I've never needed it, so I'm okay with it at the moment. I'm just saying, I never need it.
We like mocking you. We're sorry. Anyways,
I'm not.
I guess
That's why I'm here.
That's fair. So this is my podcast page. Very similar to the YouTube page.
The icon.
Yo, the icons were not helping me out on that one website, bro. The icons were not there. There was no microphone. There was no two people talking. I'm like, really? Like, yeah. Like, what? There was no person talking.
Shame on you, Will. Shame on you. No podcast.
So unfortunate.
That's so when I originally looked at that icon, all I saw for some stupid reason, I have no idea, was a man, like, well, a woman, the back of a person with their hands up like that, and then like a ball on the top of the head, and then two balls. And I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Oh,
and then
that does kind of look like that a little bit.
And now I just realized there's three people sitting around a table.
Yeah.
I was like, "What is that? I can't see." It was one of those like illusions.
It was the only one that made somewhat sense. So you look at it a little more.
Okay.
Now it's normal.
Right, onto the page.
Yeah. Very similar in the fact that a lot of
I can see people now rather than just a man with 20 armpits.
Yeah. And then
John, this is a podcast. Stop laughing. It's not a podcast. It's a live stream. Stop laughing.
Live stream. Still laughing. This is where I have the podcasts organized very similar way. Do you want me to like link it or something?
If it's the website that you've got, it's the Notion VIP website. So notionvip.icon/icons. Will Nutt's website, basically.
Yeah.
So I assume he's got it linked all over the place as well. I think it's one of the first ones that comes up with Notion icons as well on Google.
Yeah.
You look up Notion icons. It is the first one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are loads out there, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is one that most people.
So for the podcast, it's very similar in the fact that it has similar tags, similar steps of getting it done. The only different stuff is that it has obviously in the YouTube one, it has connected videos, because I have this sort of method of more recently I have a clip for my podcast instead of the full thing on YouTube, as well as I have a video where I talk about a topic. It's like a 7-8 minute video, and 2 minutes of B-roll or a minute and a half of B-roll will be someone's interview being interjected in there. That is kind of a way to double dip content without it being overtly, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's a tasteful incorporation of an interview. So that's kind of my thought on that. I do plan out podcast guests a little more close to when it happens. I have a connected guest page. This is a relation, as you can see, to a guest page where I haven't changed.
I don't remember. Is this shared with other people? Is this just for your reference?
Just for me. Just trying to figure
out.
Like,
I have not seen this.
I asked Brandon Jang to get on the podcast sometime when he has time. I'll try to get him on there. This is like where the contact information is stored if I need it. Reference to the project, their YouTube channel link.
Related.
I think he may be referencing the name of the property.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like, no, it's just like, yeah, it's the name of it. I mean, I know it's a relation. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the default name. It's just
No,
yeah.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah, see, John, it was a deliberate choice. Shut up.
Cool. Excellent. I'm glad it was a deliberate choice. Well done. As you were.
No, it's honestly sometimes I feel like that's pretty okay. You know, it's related to it is in fact related to the project, the podcast project tracker. So
And I think you have actually
Yep.
written that out, saying related to, instead of it being the stupid bracketed thing which says what it is and then what it's related to. So it's fine.
Yeah. That's what I got for this. Kind of standard tags here. That is how I have the guests, kind of a little bit separate from the podcast database. I don't really know if they're. I feel like that's fine, right? This is just a random question, but I feel like that makes sense. I don't know if I really should change the way that goes. I know Danny always has different ideas, but that's kind of how I separate it out. Because I do have like a content ideas page for my YouTube channel, which I can show you real quick. But regarding like just planning out who I want to have on the show and when I'm going to record with them and such, like I don't really think having it in the same thing would make much sense. So relating it maybe a little better.
Just to pause here, I really hope Danny is just deep in thought and
Not
he's
frozen.
not about to like disconnect. Although that doesn't matter thinking about it because it's done via StreamYard
He is
and we
disconnecting.
don't have to worry about it. So that's fine, because I was going to have just a mini freak out there. The fact that we
No,
won't be-
he
Yeah,
disconnected.
he's gone.
Bye,
Oh, well done,
Danny.
Danny. Bye, Danny.
Bye, Danny.
Bye.
Bye, Danny.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
you're back.
I disconnected ages ago, but I haven't heard the screen up.
Bye, Danny. Oh, you're back. Oh.
Oh, we're so glad you're back.
Did you hear what I've just said?
No.
We did hear what you just said. We just trolled you through the response.
Yeah, no, I went for like 4 minutes. It was a while. Yeah, I
Was
just
it?
frozen.
I don't know. I think 4 minutes is stretching it. What do you think, Jonathan?
Yeah.
No, I couldn't see a thing. Like it was frozen at 1:33, and it's almost 1:37.
You nodded for a
So-
while there.
Yeah, you did. I mean, you are pretty like spotty right now.
My internet, I've gone from 4 bars to 1.
Good.
Want me to do the trumpet
Fine.
again? Or?
This is why you plug in.
I mean, you guys carried on, so
You want me to do the trumpet again?
Yeah.
trumpet.
Thank you.
All right.
We need to clip that and just have that
That
ending.
is good. That is good.
I've done it for years. I figured out I could do that like when I was like 15. And it's just been like been a reflex ever since someone makes a bad joke or anything awkward or bad happens. It's good at parties. Anyways, not now. Don't go to parties now. COVID reference. Sorry.
Okay, where are we? I think we both got really distracted by Danny disconnecting. It's so like unprofessional, Danny.
Your internet's just rude. Anyways, this is kind of like where my ideas, like just like my basic ideas live. This is very bare bones at the moment because as you saw, I had months of videos planned out, and I do it in big batches, and anytime I have an idea. So I kind of make my videos in a couple different ways. More like B-roll intensive videos are called formal to me. Vlogs are vlogs. You know what a vlog is. Review is a review of a product or a service or an app or something. Hybrid is when I do the podcast and I incorporate the clip. Are you just nodding and disconnecting again, Danny? I can't tell.
No. He just put Danny, we miss you up on the.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, I must admit what Gail just said. I thought for sure Danny was pulling a prank and intentionally didn't move. Yeah, so did I.
yeah.
So did I.
That's funny.
Ah, you guys just know me so well. No, I my connection is absolutely awful. You keep going in circles, so
Okay.
I'm trying to avoid talking.
No, that makes sense. It makes sense.
It's nice. It's quite quiet.
But yeah, this is kind of where my ideas are for my YouTube channel. Just like different buckets of video types. Like I said, I really want to make this video. Does anyone here? I know you, Jonathan, said you're pretty techie. Are you a Windows user, PC user,
Oh,
Mac
I'm
user?
both.
You're both. Okay. I don't have a huge problem with Mac OS or anything like that. My big issue is with Mac's. What's the name of the guy who's God? He fixes like Mac computers and posts videos about how their service is really poor and how like people end up having to pay for an entirely new Mac if they want to get something fixed without Apple Care.
There are multiple people. Linus Tech Tips is one that I watch, but he's not Mac specific. He's PC
No,
mainly.
it's there's a specific guy. I'll mention it some other time. But yeah, I've sort of gone through my mind of like I know how to like open up my own computer and fix issues, right? But like I really hate the fact that Mac does the they do this thing where if you do that to your own product, I think it voids like the Apple Care.
Yeah.
It avoids the Apple Care, and then you have to pay hundreds of dollars if you end up wanting them to fix it. And it's just like,
and not just that, but now with the new MacBooks that have come out with the new single like integrated memory, you can't touch anything. You don't get to touch the RAM. You can't upgrade the RAM. It's been literally completely.
It is Lou Russman. Thank you, Gail Powell.
Yeah, they've literally cut off any possibilities of updates.
I have a problem with that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I enjoy the fact I can go from my iPhone to my Mac really easily. Yeah, that amazing. I love. And I just wish that they would stop doing such predatory practices on. Yeah, it bugs me because I like tinkering too. That's why. I mean, I was at one point going to go for a full-blown Mac, and then I was just like, yeah, but then I can't upgrade it, and I'm stuck. In about 3 years, my computer's a dead system, and I don't want that. This PC kicking down in the bottom right-hand corner now is like, I don't know why I told you where it was. Not that it really fucking matters. Anyway.
That's funny.
It's just like, Mac is on Mac. Yeah, I can understand why, because Mac is really, really good.
Yeah.
It works really well.
Yeah.
But being able to do anything else with it, when you want to tinker and upgrade, you have to go pay another, $3-4 grand.
Yeah, and I have a buddy of mine who just like for school purposes, his battery is really having a problem. And as Lou Rossman has pointed out in some videos, he's gone and fixed a third party. Like he's a third party person who fixes stuff for a much cheaper price. He fixed something in the battery. There was a bent something. I don't know. Like there's a something in the what's it called? In the motherboard that had a problem. It wasn't really the charging port or anything. And he fixed it. Cost the person, or actually he didn't charge them anything because it was just like so simple to fix. And that person got told by Apple, like instead, you're basically gonna have to pay $900 for like this to get fixed. And it's like, well, I might as well buy a new Mac. Or MacBook, and one of my buddies at school is having the same problem right now, and I'm telling him, go to a third party. Please do not go and like buy a new Mac. Like I'm sure it's fine. I know you're going to avoid everything. First of all, you don't have Apple Care, so you have nothing to lose by doing this. And second of all, if it does not work out, you'll be able to get the hard drive out from that third party person, and then you'll be able to buy the new laptop if that's what you have to do. But like, do not go with them first. It's so unfortunate. Sorry, but that's a video I want to make.
I don't have anything Apple other than like a normal Apple, but not.
Oh, I knew you were gonna make that joke. I was just like,
I tried not to.
Did you really? Could you try a little harder next time? Not doing that. That'd be good.
He's like, thanks. Thank you so much. It's funny.
But the thing is, John, if it wasn't funny, you wouldn't laugh.
Boom.
I'm laughing in pity.
Oh, God.
That's just mean.
Thank you.
It fit. I'm sorry.
It did. It very much fit. He's going to mute me and then take me off. He's looking to do it. I can see the face. It's just like, right, I'm going to mute him and get rid of him without destroying my computer and disconnecting again. And
I guess the last main thing I want to talk about, because to be blunt, the website portion of this is similar to the YouTube, almost the exact same thing, just kind of blog posts instead. And also, I'm very behind on my website, so I don't want to kind of get into something I haven't touched in a while. That's
so does that mean you're going to push your website so we can all go have a look at it?
Price productive got that. No, why would I do that? Wait a second. Why would I do that? It's like so not updated to what I want it to be. Check out the YouTube channel. That's doing fine.
YouTube channel's easy to make look good. You just put a banner up.
I know. That's what I'm saying. This is my social media post. This is what has not been posted, as you can tell by the
Not posted.
yeah, by not posted. The name of the thing, and this is the all posts. Definitely. Can I ask you a question? Because I attempted to do this. Is there a way for me to have the calendar view exist for this? Because I don't think it can. Because I tried, and it said it made a date property, and it wouldn't let me show my calendar based off of a roll up.
No. You would have to add what you would do is you'd add another property, a formula property, and I think would you be able to add a formula property and have the formula pull the post date in? Oh no, it's still a string, isn't it?
You can do it with a roll up. You just need to configure the roll up for it to be a date property. So you'd have to put latest date, earliest date, date range, whatever, to turn the roll up into a date property, and then you could use it in a calendar view.
But it looks like us.
It looks stupid when you're in a table view because it will say like 6 days ago or 4 days ago or 3 days until
time.
Whatever. But in the calendar view, it actually has the actual date that is in there.
How? Wait.
You just configure the roll up. So if you click on the roll up, and then you go configure roll up.
Yeah.
And then set the calculate instead of show original to any of the bottom three.
Ew.
Yeah, so it looks stupid there, but now it's a date property, so it will show in a calendar.
Yeah.
Yes, I ranted about this in a podcast.
Yeah, actually, that podcast is live.
So if you go calendar by.
What?
No, it should already be there, wouldn't it?
Was there no other date property?
Oh, no. Okay, so you need to go calendar by.
Yeah, because if there wasn't another date property, it will have added a date property for that. So if you go into the no other date property, so it must have been using. Oh, I would have gone into calendar by to see what it was. I'm going to make the screen big so I can see what's going on.
What do I need to do?
Calendar. So go back into the calendar view, which you deleted.
Yep. Okay.
And then go to the 3 dots.
Yep. Calendar.
And then calendar by. Post date.
Gotcha. That makes me happy. Thank you.
And if you're in the timeline, it's timeline by, and you can actually have a start date and an end date for the timeline by, and they can be different properties, different formulas, or anything like that, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd like that to be a thing in the calendar view as well.
Oh, yeah. That would be nice.
I don't know how it'd be a thing in the calendar view as well. Yeah, because it's a roll up, you can't drag it around.
When did I post this? Sorry.
Yeah, because it's a roll up. It's the same with the formula. If you're using a formula as a date for the calendar by, a formula or a roll up, because a formula is calculated by something, you'd have to change the property for the date of the formula to change. And with the roll up, you'd have to change whatever the date is in the database that the roll up is relating to for it to change. So you can't just click and drag it.
Makes perfect sense.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
This has been eye-opening for me. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to make it awkward, but this actually has been eye-opening for me. I appreciate that.
Oh no, that's good. I mean, that's Notion nerding at its best. Yeah. Going into roll-up string and date differences.
Yeah, I guess the interesting part about this now is I obviously wouldn't be able to what's it called, drag this, but it's fine. It's just more of a view.
Yeah, you can't drag them in that calendar view because of the calendar by, but you could have the database of the original database where this is being rolled up from. You could move those around or put a linked view in there. You could have another view there. There's loads of options.
Oh man. So this
yes, I know that does look absolutely disgusting.
And that's the problem. So
we have actually done a whole podcast episode really going ham on this.
Yep. So
I
what I
think
would
I'm
probably
gonna have to use the calendar view then. I have to choose one.
or you could make another roll up and then just hide the nasty looking roll up because you can hide properties.
Wait. That is smart. How would I? So
Just
another
click
roll-up.
duplicate you just would duplicate the
Yeah, exactly.
The roll up you've already got.
and then make that look pretty.
Yeah, they can't be the same.
Second.
They can't have the same name, so you've got to add
Yeah.
something in.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
change this one. I'm gonna. I like making jokes to myself about things. And then change this to configure rollup to the show original, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That makes
So
sense.
now you've got a nice view and a nasty view, but the nasty view helps with the calendar view.
I look at bad. That's pretty funny looking.
Yeah.
I crack myself up. It's low-key bad. Fine.
And this is why we have to have hide properties.
Thank God.
Yes.
No, seriously. Like, what if I wasn't? But I have a notion. It'd be good.
We've only been asking for, I don't know, for at least 6 months.
Mm.
The chat's getting away from me. I'm too lazy to tinker with hardware, so I don't care.
That's fair.
Okay,
Hey, that's fair.
that is a fair point.
Third party fix your stuff.
I have explained this in 4 different videos, but I do not remember the name of the videos. I think I explained it in a roll-up video and a roll-up video, and I think I explained it in the calendar video as well, but I can't remember. I've done so many now.
You're gonna say something.
Sorry?
You were gonna say you said so, and then you had a consonant come out of your mouth, and then you stopped yourself, and then you said
Yeah, because actually we're on Notion Nerd, so I can swear. So fucking many now.
Yeah.
Okay, if we were on my channel, I wouldn't have done because of AdSense and stuff, but plus we're like an hour and 50 in. You made these Notion Nerds so happy with your roll-up question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You really
did. I'm glad that actually that solved the problem for me. It made you guys look like you are true Notion nerds, which you are.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many small things like that in Notion that unless you have the use case or unless you have the friction point or you've seen the friction point somewhere, you just won't know to do it. Notion is almost like learning anything, really. It's like learning another language. You don't know what you don't know in Notion, and as soon as you find something out, especially when it comes to formulas, as soon as you find something out, you realize, oh, actually, I could do all of this now. And with roll-ups, it's the same. Relations is the same.
I agree. Yeah,
but you don't need all of it. I mean,
true.
My most recent formula is a perfect example of that. You really don't need it, but it's really cool for me.
Yes, Danny, we know.
I'm still in the process of making a video about that, but
I bet that's a fun one to make.
I've basically gone, you know what? So that I'm not going to explain the formula. I'm just going to go over my space, and if people want to know about the formula, then they can put it in the comments, and then I'll make a video, because I'm not going to make a video about that formula if no one wants to see it. Because I know people who want to see an updated version of my space, because I get the question all the time. How is your space changing? How has it changed? And all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to make an updated version, but the formula.
Danny?
Yeah.
Danny, how's your space changed?
He left. Or you kicked him. Oh. You kicked him.
Yeah, that's what I thought of that question, John.
Into the curb.
Oh, dear.
So with all of these pages that you've got on your space, are they all pages and databases that are showing in all of those dashboards that you've just gone through?
I'll be honest. There are a fair amount of these that I'm not exactly using too much. There are some things that should maybe get batched into something called I don't use this anymore. Why is this still here?
I like that. I like that section.
Those are my favorite. Like, here's an example of stuff I really do like making those jokes about things in files because I think it's funny.
Same.
Like, I will try to do something real quick. Here we go. There's a file on OneDrive for which I should make another backup of. It's just school stuff that I am done with. The title of the folder is like literally school stuff that I'm done with. Because it's just like I don't have to ever touch this stuff again because it's been years since I've gone into those files or used those syllabi or whatever. And school stuff I'm done with. But I like doing that with things. And I want to like put why you don't use this. For example, I did try to make a meal calendar. I don't use it. I have this, it just exists. I have a morning routine. It just like kind of more an idea of my morning routine is in the future, is sometimes. My night routine is just another thing that I wrote down to like myself like once, and then I never looked at it again. This is used fairly often because it's for my challenges from my YouTube channel. It's just like writing down like what
you could use a timeline for that.
You know, I could.
I don't know why.
That's it. That's all I have to say. I could. Let me try. No, let's try the view. Month. I did cold showers for 30 days. I could. I don't like it as much.
No, me either. But then I don't like the timeline view at all.
I'm really not a fan of it either. I'm gonna be honest. You made the video, and I watched the video like right when you dropped it. And I was like, cool. I was like, you know what my favorite part about this video is? And not only the fact that I don't like it, but the fact that Danny's gonna do well because he's the first person that dropped a video on it. I'm happy for Danny. Everything else about this video sucks. Not the fact that you made it or anything. Just
hiding property.
Okay, yeah, okay, that was
like
fine.
The excitement at the beginning of the video. Some people think it's for the timeline view. Nah. The excitement at the beginning of the video is the ability to hide properties, and I deliberately put that at the end of the video so people would watch through the timeline rubbish. Sorry, the timeline view. Because I just don't like it.
Rubbish.
But I wasn't the first person to put a video up about it. I was like joint first because Keep Productive, Francesco put a video up literally like a couple of seconds after me. It was so close.
And then like 5 minutes after that, I put a video up.
Well, I mean, so I put mine up and then it was ranking first. And then Keep Productive put his up like, I don't know, a minute after, but because he's got, 140,000 subs. The views went up quicker than mine. Then his was ranking first, mine was second. Then I think 10 put his up, but didn't have audio. Then it got taken down. Then you put yours up, John. And then 10 put his back up with audio. And then Murali put his up. Then there were 3 others that I can't remember the name of the creators. My bad. But 3 other videos went up. But yeah, there were so many videos because, I mean, I think John tweeted about it. But like as soon as you know there's an update if you're following anyone from Notion, because everyone retweets everything. Like you're on Twitter, it's like, oh, the 40 Notion ambassadors have all just tweeted about this one update. And everyone that ever uses Notion that you're following is just all tweeting about it. Just my whole feed just turned into Notion timeline.
No, you missed a really good joke then.
Your timeline turned into a Notion timeline?
Yeah, your timeline turned into a Notion timeline. Come on. That was good. It was funny. It would have been, well, no, it wouldn't have been funny. It would have been awful, but still, you're used to awful jokes. It's fine.
Oh, thanks. All my jokes are awful.
Thanks, guys. Jonathan, speaking of jokes, I'm a fan of your name because I'm a fan of the other person.
You should have just stopped there. Speaking of jokes, I like the name.
No, stop. That was not an insult. Are you familiar with Jon Stewart, the comedian?
Yes.
Yeah, big fan of Jon Stewart. So.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're a big fan of me. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're also a comedian. That's why I said that.
I'm really not. Everyone thinks I'm a comedian. I'm not sure
You
whether
are,
that's a
that's so
good
funny, John.
thing or a
It's 'cause
bad
your name.
thing.
Because your name, I think it's like a requirement. You have to be funny.
Yeah,
Which
no one
again,
can take you seriously, John.
No.
That's not the same thing as being a comedian, though.
Does anyone take a comedian seriously?
I don't think those things are mutually exclusive. Like people don't take Sacha Baron Cohen seriously when he's being Borat, but the people in real life do. The people, I don't know if you guys have seen the movies, but
Yep, that's literally what happened. I mean, I don't subscribe to most Notion channels that I watch, because then I would just be subscribed to like 7,000 random people that have made like 1 or 2 Notion videos. But I still searched Notion in the search engine and then filtered it for most recent uploads, and I just got like so many of the timeline. It was just like Notion timeline Notion. Yeah, that's right. Cool. Everyone was saying the same thing, but I still watched all the videos. Right, so we've broken the 2-hour mark, so we've hit our timestamp. Demetri, I have put your YouTube channel in the description below. So, well, I think I have. I'm pretty sure I did. And then I have both of our. I did it in, like, it's ticked off in Notion, so it should be done. And if anyone does want to become a guest on stream and share what they've done in Notion, I've also got the link in the description. So that's all sorted. So, Demetri, do you want to share where you are apart from YouTube? Because obviously YouTube's your main platform. Is there anything else anywhere else you want to direct people to?
No. You said you wanted just people to go to YouTube.
Well, yeah, I know, but
I do have an Instagram. I do have an
Twitter.
Instagram, and I do have a Twitter and an Instagram. I would recommend
same handles.
that. Same. It's all just my name. Demetri Panici. Yep. So that makes it pretty easy, no? Yeah, it makes it pretty easy, no? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the only thing is my website doesn't have that.
Oh, well, that's horrible. Look at that. Hang on to it.
Check out the socials. Hopefully you guys will enjoy. I have a podcast called the Rise Productive Podcast as well that I have had 2 episodes with Danny on. Maybe Jonathan, if you're interested, I could have you on the show. That'd be fun. He goes,
yeah, sure, I'll come on the show. Yeah, we can talk about Mac.
And how much you love it.
That would not be bad. I wouldn't mind roasting Mac for an hour.
Yeah, we can just talk tech. That'd be fun. I enjoy that.
That would be a good episode.
John talks tech.
I like that.
No one knows who John is, but he talks tech.
Ouch.
Yet. No one knows who John is yet. Just wait for the videos to roll. Then everything's coming. Right. So I hope everyone enjoyed the stream, and we will see you guys all same time next week. We need to plan that, John. So we'll do that now.